Yes. Sorry, guys. I got hit in the throat on the weekend at my game. I was about to call the pod off this morning. I woke up and could not feel my throat. How are we, boys? Welcome back to Footy and Friends.
We're better than you, mate. We're better than you.
Look, thank God that's over.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Thank God that's finished. But what a weekend it was down there at Toora Football and Netball Club. Should we move on, or do you want to review it?
I think we should review it.
I think we review it and start with, how about the fixturing? How about getting the Toura game in July? What about the winds and the bog?
Oh, boys, it was fantastic.
Some of the vision out of it, mate. It just looked like...
It's beautiful.
It didn't even look fun.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, but in terms of the weather and the bog heap, like if you come back to play a game of footy when you haven't played since 2019, you're thinking nice dry day, spring.
Yes,
the ball's going to move quick. I'm going to lace a few out
Off the back of the square.
Yeah, we do some strict plays off the back.
A few handball receives, kick a couple of goals.
Well, maybe give the handball first. We'll get into a few teammates after that. I wasn't happy with them the day, but no, all great day. So for those there who maybe it's your first time listening, if it is, bloody welcome. I'm Dylan. This is Brett, and that's Mick.
This is Corporate Brett.
Oh, Corporate Brett. Yes. Corporate Brett. He's got his suit and tie on today. So I played in a game on the weekend for part of the Carlton Draft. Big shout out to them. It was, in all seriousness, we're very, very... I reckon it's one of the best community initiatives I've seen in footy for a long time. Like it's
the buy-in was massive, wasn't it? Like
it's such... And a shout out to Toura, shout out to the Gippsland Footy League, and Yanar, our fierce opponents. We hate them, but they're good blokes. They were actually ripping blokes, minus a few. And
put numbers to it.
Yeah, I can't remember. Don't remember. Never will again. No, I'm joking. Incredible people. The league, that both teams getting a part of the day. We spoke to Carlton Draft and TGI, who helped facilitate the whole thing after it, and they said that was the best two teams and footy clubs leagues that have ever bought into the day.
Yeah, right.
And just embraced it, made it the most of it. So speaks volumes of the Toura Football Club again of how good they were. We went down for the post match after. How good was the crew down there?
Mate, I think they had a good day. They were warming themselves with a few tins.
Did you think about a few of them yesterday morning as you woke up? You were probably quite sore. I was waking up thinking, wonder what Dar's doing this morning.
Wonder what Bo's doing down there this morning. Big Bowie, I signed his forehead after the game. He was fantastic.
What about when we're doing Q&As for the crowd? Anyone got any more questions? And Bo would just every time hand up and then just make his way to the stage.
And then someone pulled his seat out from him and he hit the deck. He wasn't happy with that. He was an absolute champion though, Bo, and ripping like such a beautiful bunch of people. And it was just such a good day. Like honestly, like their social media, their president, coach Jack Weston, who as we've spoken about, he was at Geelong for a couple of years. Easty, Smarty, all the boys down there.
Boys from Peninsula? The Peninsula?
The Peninsula
the
boys.
Merchants?
Yeah, the merchants. They come down and they take all the cash and get out. I'd be asking for the money back after the weekend. They did fuck all, but no, it was a great game. And I will say this, it was so funny because I rocked up to the game, obviously, the jitters, the drive down, and it was just like we nearly had to pull over on the way down. It was that fucking wet. Like,
on the way home.
On the way home, it was crazy as well. Brett drove me home. We'll get to that in a minute. And I get there, and the president comes up to me. And we're sort of talking about it. He's sort of running through the day. And my mind's everywhere because I'm like, it's full on. You get there and everything's going on. And he's already talking about the post-match, like 2 hours prior to the game. And I'm like, I'm not here for the game, am I? Like, I'm here. I'm like, you didn't pick me to play. You just care about this after-match. And I'm like, you know what? It made me feel a lot better going. Like that didn't
the expectations are a little bit lower.
Fuck what I was going to do on the field. As long as we had a good night, we make some money for the footy club.
Did you validate being picked 4 out of 5 on field?
I was finished in the best, as you saw.
On top of the best.
Yes, from left to right. If we read it like that, it was best. And I went hard early. I really.
That's a good half then, because what you've told me is you didn't touch it in the second half.
I didn't touch it in the second half. So we get to the game, as we said. We get there, having fun. It's fucking pissing down, like sideways. Now, let me just paint the picture too, because you boys got there late, 7 p.m. It's at the bottom of a hill, and on both sides. So there's a massive hill on the left, and on the other side is ocean, like probably 10, 20 k's away, but it's this wind. On top of the hill is about 40 wind turbines. So it's a wind farm. 45-kilometre winds on the day. 25 mil of rain and hail, mind you, that hit me in the fucking face, which was just crazy. And I couldn't help but just laugh when I was out there for 5 seconds, then nearly cry. It was that cold. But the boys were unbelievable. We established, what do you do down there? When Ross went to, when you
Anywhere,
boys used to go
anytime.
down, anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere,
and we
anywhere,
developed the
anytime.
motto that,
Anyone.
they did.
Yeah.
You used to go to GMHBR and say, we love it down here.
Yeah.
We said the
22
same thing.
22 versus 35,000.
Toura, guess where Toura's born? In the mud.
Yeah.
That's what we say
That's
down
right.
there. That's
We're
our motto
raised
at our
in it.
team. We're raised in the mud. We're born in the mud.
Yeah.
And that helped for the first quarter. And then after that, I got sick of the mud. And it was really starting to hurt. But, mate, it was an awesome day. Incredible people, great community. And that is what community footy is all about.
One of our old teammates, mine at Richmond, yours at Carlton, Andy Collins.
Yeah, bung.
He hit me up after I posted that video of you.
Yes.
He goes, oh Bucko's, she stepped on a landmine. It exploded out in the middle of the ground. Mate, that was one of the biggest flops I've ever seen.
No, it was,
What quarter was that?
That must have been the third, I
That
reckon,
would
when
seem
I was
when,
with the team.
when the white flag was getting
That was
thrown.
like the first quarter. So I reckon Dust doesn't have a mic today, but first quarter
He never has.
started with a rocket like I was on, like started in the guts. I think I had maybe 8 in the first quarter.
Yeah, how many tackles? 'Cause you said you had 20 for the day.
I had 20 tackles. I would have had
the
20
stat line
tackles.
said 4. But
Yeah, stat line's fucking corrupt. I'm telling you that much. Okay. What do you think? Champion Data's down there, was it on the weekend?
Premier.
Oh yeah, well. We'll
Anyway.
chat to them. I would add, probably 8 in the first quarter, underselling myself.
Yeah.
Then in the second quarter would have. So I finished. I think I finished with 16.
Yeah.
So I would have had them both in the half. I do not think I touched the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
Because after the half time, we've got a video we'll post. I actually had hypothermia. Like I couldn't stop shaking.
You see, he's shaking.
I was shivering, mate. Like everyone was like, "You're all right." The girl, a trainer came up to me. I said, "You okay?" I'm like, I'm not taking the piss here. Like, this is actually getting embarrassing. I couldn't stop shaking. It was that cold. Then my back started to fucking freeze, and I couldn't move my back. Then my hip went. Anyway.
There was a game over the weekend. And you look at some of the local footy scores around Victoria on the weekend, and some of the scores are remarkable.
Yeah.
It's like 17-20 and 18-24.
10-30, I suppose.
Sorry, the one that you were at.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a sec. But there was a game in down past Ballarat. I think they got called off at half time with players and officials getting hypothermia.
Yeah.
The umpires didn't return to the field because I think they had. I shouldn't laugh, but
No,
it was quite serious.
No, I was there, mate. I genuinely reckon I was there. The rest of the guys, they were fine. But I was cold.
Yeah.
Like, really cold.
You didn't even wear the sleeves. We didn't have any.
We didn't have the sleeves.
Did no one wear a sleeve?
I think a few blokes did. But I almost think sometimes with the sleeve in a wet day, if you get wet sleeves, then you're actually carrying even more liquid. You reckon?
Nah.
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. In theory.
yeah.
If you get wet sleeves, then you're carrying more fucking coldness on your body.
Yeah.
Toura got the bye this week. So and what about
know.
the sport? The night that Brett and I were there for. Right at the end, you got a little bit carried away, and you started to
After a couple of Carlton drafts.
Brett, Mick, and I. You know what? I think we might come back and Brett's going. You watch what you say. Yeah, you watch what you say.
I think it's what we'll do is I'll coach and you two play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great day. It was wet. There wasn't much.
We'll play Easter weekend or the very last weekend in September when the grounds had a chance to
wasn't
dry
many-
out.
Hey, the girls love to get down there.
Oh,
on
yeah,
Easter,
I know.
wouldn't they,
Yeah,
Brett?
bloody oath. Yeah, bloody oath. There wasn't much clean passages of play, mind you, for the
Well,
day.
would be good in Toura.
700s.
No.
Oh,
The hills and the trails.
there is some four-wheel driving and some mountain bike riding.
Yeah.
There actually is.
Yeah.
Because the wind turbines up on the.
I had to do a bit of forward driving to come back and pick you up because we nearly didn't bring you up.
Fucking
talking about that, Brett.
Jesus Christ!
Throw to that situation.
Wow.
Well, because you had your busted hand because you'd had 20 tackles and whatever else.
2 busted hands from elbow to elbow on both hands. I couldn't let them go down because they were like throbbing so much. Like it's
Yeah. Anyway, you've come to us really late. I've gone all the way with Mick and we had a great chat on the way up. And then you come to us last 5 minutes. Hey, boys, you reckon one of you boys could drive me car home? Well, I wasn't planning on it, mate. But yeah, anyway, I thought you were jumping in with Mick because his car was parked right near the tent.
Yeah. So you thought I'd jump in his car and you'll take
and I'm
makes
grabbing
sense.
your ute. So I've headed off down the road.
I called both of you. You're both fucking 10 minutes away. I'm like, well, does anyone want to fucking come and get me? Like,
I wasn't turning back around.
He wasn't. And he's like, he's in your car. I'm like, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm freezing. Someone come and get me. I had 2 broken hands. So I had to go wait out there for like 30 minutes. But
For all Brett's great IQ, the fact that you're in his car, mate.
Yeah, I know, but
Whose car do you reckon he's going to go in?
I thought you were trying to make a quick getaway because you were parked right next to the tent.
Yeah.
Anyway, I turned around, nearly got bogged as I'm trying to spin around.
not in the BT, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
No, the BT fish from South Marine. That
You
doesn't
need
get
some
bogged.
all-terrains on it. But we got to, 35, 40 minutes down the road. I mean, is it Minion? Is that how you say it? Minion?
Yeah, right near Murbu North. I was when you rang me.
Yeah. Like, Mick, have you got Dyl?
Oh, yeah, this is great.
And
This
he's
is a good
like,
one.
nah. I was like, man, I haven't got him. I thought he was with you.
I think I might actually have a bit of this on my phone because I was.
Well, we should.
Right in that spot, I love you, Brett, and I'm all for the team. We're a great team here, but I wasn't fucking turning around.
Closer to the fucking tent. I just assumed he's going with you because you got his car. Oh, fuck. I'm going to have to turn around. I'm in Minion now. I'm going to have to turn around. You've got him. Talk to me, Dylan. He's not here, mate. Fucking hell. Oh. Hey, Mickey.
That was the throat and maybe 20 Carlton Drafts as well. But no, what a good night. And just on the function quickly, great people. Did a good auction there at the end as well.
Made some good money for the club.
Good money for the footy club. That's what it's all about.
I hope they got the money on the night because there were some
There was
audacious bids.
There were some bids there that I was going, I don't know if you are going to pay that. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work, but hopefully they did. It was awesome. So funny on the way home too. So what we were meant to do was meet in Lee and Gather and at the McDonald's and swap over cars, or I was going to drive.
Logistically, it all didn't make sense.
It did make sense.
You were going to jump in with me.
Yeah. So then
No, I was going to jump back in with you, and he goes, I'll be right with it.
Yeah, but anyway, my hands are broken, so I couldn't drive. And Brett goes, we don't have to go to McDonald's then. And I was like, I haven't fucking eaten anything. So I was like, okay, whatever. We didn't stop. Then he goes, I'm actually pretty hungry. We'll get some Maccas. He went and got his, did his order, and he's driving through. He goes, can I just get some nuggets? And they're like, how many? Do you want 6? He goes, no. 3. 3 nuggets. Just 3 nuggets. Just a Brett Deledio packet of nuggets.
Your story was going good then. And everyone was believing that I wanted Maccas. And it was you that wanted the Maccas. No, we did. Actually, I'll just get a large cheeseburger meal, thanks, mate, and a Coke.
We got some Maccas on the way home.
But seriously, the McDonald's staff should know. How many do you reckon Brett Deledio?
Yeah, he said it's Brett. And I said, okay, just the 3, no worries. Yeah, fantastic. Just the 3 nuggets.
Corporate Brett. Look at him.
Oh, but
Great stuff.
can I say anything more about how good the Toura people were, or we reckon we've covered off?
We saw it firsthand. We were there. They were.
No, they were well done to them. And one more Carlton Draft player. I'm really worried about Joey Montana.
Mate, Joey.
He's deconditioning by the day.
Yeah, do you know what's interesting? So it's a real community, the Carlton Draft.
You got a WhatsApp group?
Well,
No.
we should because Lloydie actually messaged me up on the day wishing me good luck. Just a great man, Lloydo. He had a game for, I think he was coaching Haileybury that day too, and he's like, mate, this is the worst day ever. Lee messaged me on the way home. He was shitting himself, seeing how it went. Because he's actually playing, context too, not to break the storyline, but I went pick 4 ahead of Lee.
Yeah.
But I went to a league that's like probably a little bit worse. I think they must have manufactured it that I wasn't going to such a great sort of...
The Bendigo League's a strong league.
Lee Montana's playing in like an actual good league where like VFL players play when they're not playing.
And I think Castlemaine's not going that great.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Castlemaine is... No, going okay. They're 4th last, and he's playing Kangaroo Flat, who's 2nd last. That actually surprises me.
There you go. So you might get a good one there. But it's a good little community. Izzy Smith messaged me as well, and Koch messaged me good luck too. So all the boys got around it, and best of luck to...
So Kochi's got the chockies at the moment in terms of performance.
Yeah.
Castlemaine are only
4.
1 game out of the finals.
Did he get best on though?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Did he get best on?
They mustn't have watched the second half.
Last one, there was 2 situations in the game that I thought were quite funny. Because we had the Yanar boys, as I said, were absolutely awesome. There was a couple of guys that listened to the podcast, and I was chatting to them out there. And this guy that was playing, I think I was playing on him, or he was playing on me. I think when I sort of dropped back to half back after a bit cooked, and it was just one of those ones. And I reckon you get maybe one of these a year, one opportunity a year when you play footy is when you have the perfect rundown tackle.
Yeah.
They just don't think you're there, and they forget that you're an absolute speed demon that played at 41 games of AFL.
Yeah.
Said, just get rid of the ball, mate, when I'm around you, because I'm fucking quick and strong. Anyway, tackle this guy holding the ball, just a perfect tackle, turned him. And as I'm turning him, he goes, fuck, I'm going to be on Footy and Friends. It was just so good. And then this other bloke I tackled too, and accidentally, I think he got a bit winded from it when the big fella fell on him. I was stacking a bit more. And he came up after the game, and he was wearing Dyl Friends budgie smugglers. Yeah, absolute champion.
And you got reported?
No, not
So
reported.
good.
There's 6 weeks in AFL.
You did.
Yeah.
I saw you got
I reckon
reported
I've got 6 weeks
for staging.
6 weeks for flopping and 6 weeks for my tackle. So
You're out for the rest of the year.
out for the rest of the year. But great day, and big shout out to both footy clubs, Gippy League, and everything in between. Moving on.
Into the review.
Let's get into the review, boys. Round 19, Crows defeated the Dons.
What a game. Did you watch it?
I did.
You get a bit
Rochelle.
of a fix? Yeah.
I was trying to channel that, but there was only one goal kicked in our game, so there wasn't too much going on. What do you think?
What I think? Well, probably one that Essendon's let slip, to be honest. Mickey, I thought their chance to solidify themselves, if they win that game, they're second, they lose, and they're hanging on to 8th, which is amazing. They've lost by 2 points.
Crazy.
They had some chances late they just kept dumping it down the line, didn't they? They could have controlled the ball for maybe 1 minute or not even really. Every time they got it, it was very predictable what they were going to do. So Adelaide got 3 or 4 looks off the back of Essendon, just being very predictable, very, very late. Rochelle stands up late, gets the goal, which is great. Player that I wrote off a few years ago I think when we launched this,
you did.
I wrote Ben Keys off 4 years ago. I think in our pilot episode,
You wrote him off. Like, he said something like,
Adelaide's got Ben Keys.
yeah, like,
So we all
as a
thought
joke.
they were gonna be
Like,
good.
yeah.
Neefel. He used to dominate the Neefel back in the day.
Yeah, he was a
for
Brisbane
the Lions.
player,
He didn't come through the ranks.
He really had so, but he just seems like one of those guys that, being a coach that you are now, that you just sort of, obviously he has an unorthodox sort of way of kicking and things like that. But he just
runs like Buzz Lightyear.
he just gets it done, mate. He's one of those guys that he's going to rock up with 100% effort every week. No matter what happens, he's going to try and make things
So
happen.
he's playing that high forward role, which can be
Death Valley, they call it.
deathish in the valley.
That's where I put myself in that second half, just to get away from the ball.
But some days you just have a day in that role, and
He cashed in.
he cashed in.
5 goals won, 6 shots on goal. Crazy.
Adelaide just stay alive on the season. They just stay alive mathematically.
Just on Essendon, I
Really?
saw...
I think mathematically, I'm doing the math.
Really?
I think they're still alive mathematically.
I think fucking everyone's alive this year. Who knows?
I think it'll be.
The Lions are well and truly alive, mind you.
Just on
When
this
we get
game,
to that.
though, I did see something cool on the... Might have been there. I think I was sitting, Juz rolled me out of bed onto the couch to watch the Sunday footy show. I couldn't move yesterday, and they showed this really cool clip of how important the +1 is, and they showed that last goal of Rochelle with how good Langford was. So he was playing forward, but they put him around as a +1. Positioning was incredible. That's something I always fucked up with, like getting into that +1 position.
Sorry, just
So they used you as the +1, did they?
No, but you're saying his positioning was incredible, but they
Rochelle
kicked a
kicked
goal
a goal,
against him.
No, they didn't. So Langford was doing it, right?
Yeah.
But then they went and it was...
This is a real contradiction here. I'm not sure where we're
it
going.
wasn't.
I'm still wrapping my head around. Jazzy thought it was really important to get him out of bed.
Yeah, she,
to watch it on the Sunday.
I was
Yeah,
going.
he's a really good coaching piece.
Then Jake Kelly went +1 and was too high up at the contest and couldn't impact. That's when Rochelle got it over the back and kicked the goal.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, a serious
Wow.
question was...
Well done, Juz.
No, I was just saying, a real question was, there's some blokes that are just incredible intercept marks. Who's the best you've seen you play with? Like, who was the main one at Fremantle? They would just go +1.
Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
Sam Doherty's, I reckon, one of
Luke
the best
Ryan's
I've seen.
doing it well now
Ryan.
at Freo.
Ranty?
Nick
or-
Haynes used to do it really well.
Nick Haynes
at
was,
the Giants.
yeah, at his best was unbelievable.
Yeah, Ranty. Well, mate, he was more the lockdown and allow someone else to probably come in. Yeah.
Look, the best I've seen this
He's pretty
year
good.
live was Liam Jones, Doggies.
Yeah.
Who
He's rejuvenated, Liam
he
Jones.
just kind of he points the pistols between two
I love
players and
Liam
he
Jones.
just anticipates and
Point the pistols. I haven't heard that
points
for
the
ages.
pistols. You point the pistols
I
on the weekend.
you know what I learned from the weekend is even if you're not talking, put your hands up, and then they think you are on the third count. My shoulder hurts. All right, moving on. So Essendon, I don't like if they had won that, they're not the second team on the
Nah.
line. Sorry, so
they're
they
skidding
couldn't
up.
have won.
They're hitting the skids.
They couldn't have won.
Yeah.
Who do they play? We reviewed.
They've
don't
got
we?
it. I think
We
we're doing
previewed it.
that,
They
yeah.
they play the Saints this weekend.
Giants smashed the Suns. Bit of a sort of nothing game, but it is quite fascinating how they just cannot get up out of Gold Coast.
They looked okay early. I watched a fair bit of this game, and they've had the same, well, if not more,
They had
scoring
66
shots.
inside 50s.
Yeah, they just not getting it done.
Big Benny King couldn't.
Yeah, he had 7 shots on goal. One of them, his first one, nearly missed his foot.
Now, from experience, though, the wind down there at Toora, I heard it was similar at Giant Stadium.
Yeah,
At NG Stadium.
You see, they put some vision up of the trees out the back, and it was blowing.
Yeah.
But
Still, can't miss your boot.
You got to be better than that. No. Jesse Hogan again, great. Tobes kicked a couple.
He was back. He kicked a good
little
one.
binger in his 100th. Kicked 2 and had 18. He was going really well. Our boy Witters, 40 off that back line. Sam Flanders, mate, he's second quickest, I reckon, to 500 stats, other than only one other person, the little master Gaz.
I thought you were going to say
Oh, yeah, I was half
thought you were gonna
expecting
say
it.
so.
It went over here.
No, this is the
Couldn't
Gold
get a
Coast.
game 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Sam Flanders.
Do you know he's actually from that region of Toora?
Yeah, he's from up in where you were.
Yeah, I was chatting to the boys. I was just trying to get my my bearings.
Your
of
bearings.
Who's around here?
Yeah. I had one bloke come up to me. He'd had a couple. He's like, sign me up for the draft. I said, oh, which draft? He goes, 20, 30.
How old was he?
I don't know. He didn't tell. He's obviously old enough to drink. So.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't think it's happening. Saints versus West Coast. Wowee, that was...
I didn't watch
Yeah,
one
yeah.
We
second
get
of this
a
game.
mulligan each
That's
week
a
on this.
mulligan, that game. I'm
You
not
sure you
gonna
don't want to talk about Ross? And
Well, I think we'll
what
get into the
happened?
preview because I think I'm smelling an upset this weekend, and Saints still mathematically possible.
I did want to say one thing about this game was Brad Hill, 250.
Yep.
I love Brad Hill. Like, incredible player. Just moves so well. Did you have him at Fremantle?
No, I'd left.
You'd left. So I was going to ask one question because I was just thinking about this today. 250 games, obviously, 3-time premiership player at Hawthorn.
Yep.
Goes to Freo at St Kilda now. I think he's signed a 3-year deal there or something, so he's going to be there for a while. Who's the best runner you two have played with in your, like, on field, but maybe then even just time trials? Give us some names.
Tom Scully.
Yeah.
Witters was right up there. He's a good runner.
What about at Richmond?
Matty White and Dan Jackson.
Matty, Sharon face.
Why is he sharing?
Did you not see
that clip of him getting hit in the face with a Sharon?
Oh yeah,
At the
yeah.
clinic.
We put that on, didn't we? Yeah, no, I have. Sharon.
Matty White had the unbelievable blend of speed and endurance.
Yeah.
I think one of the best times I ever saw around the 10 was him and Jacko, and they were a second apart, 12:36 and 12:37,
Wow.
which is absolutely humming.
Where did you start? Just a question. Did you start at the start?
At the horseshoe,
so
yeah.
you in the middle and you run up a hill
around,
and then go
up the hill,
Shit.
and then all the way around. Matty Richardson ran nearly a 13 flat. I
Big
reckon.
Richo?
Yeah. Big
I
horse.
can't
car.
do that today with my throat.
Do you remember the clip? This got brought up to me yesterday when Richo came out of the square on a lead and he ran straight past the ball.
Yeah, D-Rod missed him with one, and he ran past. He's out on the lead, ran past the footy and kept giving it to D-Rod.
That's so good.
And then Spud rang him up and he's like, "Mate, I just can't. We can't have that."
And then didn't Brian Taylor then get put on as his body language coach?
BT did,
Yeah.
did he? And give him a couple of these ones.
Mine, I'm sure you're curious on who the best runners I've seen was. I reckon Carlton would have been Ed Curnow
Yep.
and Tom. Remember Tom Bell?
Yeah.
Big Bell?
Yeah.
Like, it was like 105 kilos, but just could run.
Yeah.
That guy.
Amazing. Oh, I did see that on the
Did you see that?
weekend.
Oh,
That's
yes.
Ed Curnow.
Yeah, no,
That's-
Murph
'cause he's
showed me that yesterday.
Coaching down at Lawn at the moment.
What's he need the tape
Tell
around
you
there?
what, my head wasn't going anywhere near anyone else's.
And just for podcast listeners, I'm showing a photo of Ed Curnow who played footy on the weekend and
yeah, that's scary.
has a maroon eye.
Mate, that's one of the biggest black eyes I've seen. We'll get a photo of that up so that we can see it. This is a game I want to talk about. Now, I know this was on sort of nearly at the same time as mine, so I didn't get to watch it, but I did watch all the highlights. It's probably the game of the round. Hawks, would you say they smashed?
They smacked them. Yep. Yeah. Second best game of the round for mine, but I think the Hawks are just absolutely humming at the moment. And if you got them, if they make the finals and they come in because they're
They're that team, are they, Brett?
They
They're the
are
team.
that
You don't
team.
want to get in the final.
They're like
Yeah.
the Western Bulldogs 2016 type sort of field.
but they're just playing with so much confidence and flair. You can see in the way the boys are enjoying themselves. Now they might fall just short. I don't know, but
That's bullshit what he just said.
what?
I said that about a month ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
I said
listening.
the Hawks. I made a bit of a bold prediction.
you
Hawks
did?
will make finals. And,
Yeah, I've
there's
been saying it for 2 years.
No, well, I don't know if you have.
I have, verbatim. The Hawks, though, what I love about them, they feel it is a bit of a feel, again, to like they're everyone's second favourite team at the moment, just because the way they're sort of going about it. But how the hell, when you think about it, are Hawthorn potentially not going to make the 8, and then Essendon, if they won on the weekend, was second? Because I just feel like if they were going head to head,
they're poles apart, aren't they?
like, they're
really?
just not near it.
What about their 2 highest ranked players on the weekend?
Nick Watson?
Ginnivan and Nash. You know, like so Ginnivan has 30 and kicks 2 against his old side.
We've got to talk about him in the
Small
minute, 'cause
forward.
that
And
was
then
fantastic.
Nash, who's been a good player for a number of years.
Found a role.
But, not so much a household name type of player.
Not in your household. Jazz loves him when he watches the footy show in the morning. Yeah.
Dan bro. So they just find players. Dan Brosio from Essendon. So he had delisted free agent.
Yeah,
I think they didn't end up keeping
Number
him.
1 ranked winger.
Yeah.
Tell you what I also love about this show. We do a lot of segments and things, and we just
love
park
it.
Tidbits.
We love it.
All those stats and things
Yes.
we did for 1 week.
No, we
Then
do
we did
them.
the guests.
You've been here.
Scratchies.
No, the scratchies, that one didn't last. Yeah, that one. Sucked.
Anyway.
that was just him bored on the way in.
You got to throw shit at a wall and see what sticks sometimes, boys,
Yeah,
and some doesn't stick. Just on Ginnivan, that was so good.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a showman, isn't he?
he's a showman. Sometimes you're going to love him. Sometimes you're going to question what he does. But that MCG,
Yeah.
playing against his old team, 31 disposals, kicks 2.
Yeah.
And my favourite thing I reckon I've ever seen, at the end of the game, he walks up to the Collingwood crowd and gives them the good night. And you could just see them
Seething.
frothing out of their mouth. And he's just like, God, it was the best thing I've seen this year.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, I love Cornsey, Corn. He goes, this is the same Collingwood supporters that were then getting angry at other supporters for booing him.
Yeah.
So, like, it's
Cop
just
it.
the love of our game. I
Yeah.
love it. It's fantastic. I
I got
love
asked
the
this
drama.
yesterday on radio. What are your thoughts on the theatre and the everything that Jack Ginnivan and a lot of the Hawthorn boys with their celebrations,
Yeah.
what it brings? So if you back it up with performance,
Do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
But if you're doing all this sort of carry on, you're getting you're having 0 touches in the second half. Like I think that's just. Yeah, you gotta pick your moments, but
Yeah.
I think this is great for the game, and there's a reason why he's a kid who was a small little back forward pocket half forward, and now he's got one of the biggest followings in the game. Like
Yeah.
people just love to watch him play.
Yeah. Nick Watson, another one, before we move on, was good. Seems like he's hitting some very, very good form at the moment, kicking goals too. Dogs defeated the Cats. Now,
What a
everyone's-
bogey. This looks like Toura.
Everyone's saying, mate, come down to Toura and look at some mud. Okay, this was nothing, but I actually loved it. Like, I don't know why people are getting upset about it. Who cares if it's a bit muddy? Like, it's fucking middle of
I think
winter.
they made a little error.
Yeah.
They played the
the
curtain
curtain
raiser.
No, but also I think what I got told is that they'd watered the ground quite a bit and then got like a
smart.
month's
Whilst
worth
it's
of rain in a week. Then
Yeah.
they had the curtain raiser and then they had the senior game. So,
Smart.
yeah, it's going to take a little bit of repairing, GMHBA.
A bit of traffic, bit of moisture, but
Do the Cats train on it every day, or they train outside?
Well, they won't be training on it this week, I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine, but usually they would, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Or they go out to Deakin. Yeah.
dogs.
How good's the? We see this time and time again, and it's it's nearly crazy. I just love it. But the so-called failed forward goes back, Rory Lobb.
Yeah.
Like it was so good watching him back there. And when you think about it, like all of his attributes are to do that. And we were talking about it before about reading the ball and playing that +1 role. If you can read the ball, take a good mark.
Yeah.
Such a good position for those sort of
Well, the
guys.
guy who's almost filling in for Liam Jones was that.
Yeah.
He was a forward at Carlton and then has reinvented himself coming back to the Dogs now and being that lockdown key defender. And all Lobby's got to do is create that contest. But when he gets his chance to mark it, go for your marks, and that's what he did on the weekend.
Have I told you the story about Liam Jones, why he went back?
No.
So, I don't know if this is verbatim or not, but I want to do a podcast with a lot of people, but he's up there with like one guy I want to speak to because his growth mindset around where he was, like I'm talking this, he signed a 3-year deal at Carlton, playing forward, it wasn't working for him. Coaches had 100% written him off, like said, you're done, pay out the contract, and he just did not give up. Like they even went to the stage where it was the year, I think, Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow had been drafted.
Yeah.
So they were like, Jonesy, we need to let these guys develop in the VFL. You get out of the way, go play back so that you're not going to be like letting these guys do their thing. He ended up just dominating so much there down back, putting together like 10 weeks of form that they couldn't not play him.
Wow.
Like he just got best on for 10 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Together a body of work.
Put together a body of work. And it went from literally getting delisted halfway through the year to being one of the most important players in the team.
And he arguably could have nearly been an All-Australian this year where his form was at. But, yeah.
One of the toughest mental guys I've seen.
Another bloke who could potentially get his first All-Australian, Adam Treloar. He was massive on the weekend.
3 goals.
31 and 3. He's just playing almost second fiddle to Bontempelli all year, but just going about his work, getting plenty of the footy.
Ed Richards is really playing some good footy. Am I wrong in saying at the start of the year he was in and out of the team?
No.
Always one of the first picks. But
he's gone mid.
Yeah, he's gone half back to mid.
Yeah.
And
so
just
I am wrong in saying that.
Yeah, you are wrong.
No, okay. I was thinking of Ted Richards from Sydney all those years ago. I think I was thinking
he was a pretty mainstay in their team.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, no, but when he was at Essendon, he wasn't.
Very true.
He'll love the shout out too. He's a big listener, Teddy
I love
Richards.
Teddy Richards. More than
kids at the same school,
he's
so I
a
see Teddy a
fantastic
lot.
man. Loves his honey.
Does he?
He's got his own
beehive. A beekeeper.
Be careful. Don't get stung. Port smack Richmond. I didn't watch this game. I don't have much on it. But
Tigers were in it for a while. They were in. We were kind of in and around Toura at the time, but caught up on the
mini
post match. Dixon kicks 4.
I did see Ken.
I thought Dixon was done.
Kane doesn't like Adam Uze being a cheerleader.
I didn't see that.
Well, it was on Sunday Footy Show, so I'm not sure.
Juzzy missed that.
I think I missed that. Shouldn't get me out early enough for that one. Because
what about
the second half?
There's a bit of talk about Dusty not playing on the weekend.
Can you talk? Yeah, tell us about this.
Well, he's got a sore back, as we know from a couple of weeks ago.
I've had one of those.
Yeah, so you know what that's like.
Bad. I didn't touch it in the second half.
Yeah.
I should have gone bloody overseas too.
But then, goes over to New Zealand to see family and whatever else, comes back, and but can't play on the weekend. So I'm not sure where.
Didn't he go? I was listening to this morning. Didn't he go New Zealand, come back on the Tuesday night, and then pulled out the clubs on the Wednesday?
Yeah,
good on him.
But couldn't train on the Thursday because he was a bit stiff. And
golf's, try and loosen yourself up a bit.
It's a 3/4 swing.
It's a mobility exercise.
Let the club do the work.
Exactly. Let the club do the work. 70% swing.
Anyway,
Dusty can do whatever the fuck he wants. Anyone who has a word about Dusty, come see me. I'll take you to the tour and beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. So interesting watch on what the great man's going to do come the end of the year there. I don't know what he does in terms of whether he goes on or whether he retires.
Put your money on it now. What do you reckon?
I think that he's more likely
Three things. 33% each.
33% each.
Like Richmond, retire, or Gold Coast.
There, done.
So pick one of them. No, sorry.
If you want 33%,
I want you to pick one of them, though.
Pick one of those.
I'd say I'm more in the camp of the probably retiring. Maybe. I don't know. But I also know that, if he gets offered some good money to go somewhere else,
does it help Gold Coast?
That's a question that their list bosses and coaches and staff will have to go through. I know Dimmer will love him because he's a good player.
Yeah.
At his best, he's a good player. But then, as you get older, as we all know, the body doesn't continue to stack up.
I can vouch for that.
Can attest to that.
Yeah.
Brother.
Last one on the Port game. You see Ken really went at Rosie and the boys in the rooms at the half time.
I haven't seen that vision. I haven't seen it, but it was. Yeah. What do you know what he said?
Oh God, he couldn't lip read, but it was. I don't think it was. Hey, how you doing? I think it was.
Yeah.
Fucking fire up.
Yeah.
Get it going, which they did.
This is the game of the round.
It is.
Did you watch any of it?
I did. I watched the first.
Did Juzzy watch any?
No, she didn't grab me out of bed, so
you were back in bed at this stage.
So you went back to bed.
I'm back in bed at this stage. Am I wrong in saying that this has sort of nothing to do with
every
the game?
chance you're probably going to be wrong.
But Harry Cunningham's 200.
Yeah.
That's a great effort by him. I've always admired this
Academy
guy.
player.
Tough as nails. 200 games. He was a rookie pick in the 90s.
In the 90s?
In the 90s.
He's been around
In
a long time.
Like the pick 90s. In the 90th pick in the rookie
He's going
draft.
really well. He is.
And I'll tell you what, this is how they rate him, because he was out. He missed a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And he was...
Was that after his concussion with Pete Wright?
No, I think he did a... Well, that, but then he did a calf. And I saw him doing some rehab running out the back there. We played Sydney last week and had a chat to him, and he did say 199 games. And it kind of snuck up on me, with all due respect to what
he just gets
been.
it done. Yeah.
He's one of those players. The players. There's one player at each club. It's a good segment.
Yes.
Let's put it in the melting pot.
Oh, let's do this every week.
Who is a player from certain clubs that...
Is this your Lee Spur types?
Yeah, you're like, he's played like...
You know who was that for me was Dave McKay from Adelaide.
I was
I thought he was like 18 for like his whole career. I was like, oh, this bloke probably hit 50 games. It was like 300. What?
But anyway, he the importance of him. He is, as soon as he's available, they put him in, and they usually put him on.
Someone.
Like
The outside.
Charlie Cameron, I think yesterday was.
I've had a few matchups with Harry
Oh,
Cunningham.
yeah,
over
he's
the
a winner.
journey.
Deledio.
They only put the best on Brett.
Yeah. Anyway,
How'd he go? Did you get a hold of him?
Who was harder to play on?
You got Cunningham or Buckley? Don't disrespect Harry.
Brett, be careful, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sensitive at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
Have you got a player, Brett, that at a club?
Well,
that-
I wanted to say one thing actually.
Go.
Joe Danaher was a good start, kicking the first 2 goals of the game. That was.
we're not talking about mixed melting pot.
Oh,
that's okay. Melting pot, we're doing every week.
All
No,
right,
it's
we'll
fine.
continue. What's the melting pot? Who have you got?
Well, didn't play with him for very long, but probably Matty DeBoer was the bloke who was the didn't play 200, but just
Got it done.
absolute. He was on his ass, and then the Giants bring him in, and then first year into the leadership group, and then plays for another 4 or 5 after that. Mate, incredible human.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
I
into this
disagree with
game.
that. Yeah. What do you think of the game, boys?
What do you reckon of the segment?
It needs just a bit of work. We'll
Yeah.
flush out a few things in the review.
Send in your thoughts of the journeyman over there.
And Cunningham had 10, by the way. In this game.
Back pocket.
Just 10. I had
He's a-
16 and a half. Just saying, I had 16 and a half on the weekend.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
about 20 tackles, only 4
You're
got
right,
recorded.
He's
He's had 10.
If you were that quick, mate, they couldn't even record it. That's
only,
true.
only Papley had less.
Yeah.
He was
He
injured.
broke his ankle, I think. So.
Mate, the Lions shot out to a early lead, and I thought, you know what, I've got this tip so right here. They're flying here, the Lions, but then Swans, champion side, obviously they managed to get themselves back and in front. They were down by 15 points at 3/4 time, the Lions. So to get over the line, some great goals late. Charlie Cameron kicked one from about 45 out on an angle. Gets that one home, and then Archie to put him in front. Left foot snap from 35-40. That was a very, very handy goal.
His games are sneaking up. Callum Archie, he's a player that.
Yeah. Sneakily putting together a career.
He was at Gold Coast, wasn't he? Yeah. Took that. The one thing I remember about him was in his draft year, he took that absolute hanger. Do you remember that for the AIS? He took an absolute hanger in his
he
under
did
18
on
year.
on the G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was maybe pre-grand final
Yeah.
morning or something,
Yeah.
and it was just huge.
Yeah. Huey McCluggan's
Anyway, you
huge
reckon
again.
Lions miss the finals, Brett?
Do I reckon they do?
Yeah.
No.
I reckon I've had a role in them bouncing back. I'm going to say it.
Have you? So this was reverse psychology.
Given this year, if
Yeah.
they had the year that they had and the other teams weren't,
Do you know where they are at the
fucking
moment on the
teams
ladder?
like Essendon
Have you
weren't
checked the
fucking
ladder?
around in the 8
Have
when
you
they
checked
should
the-
be bottom of the ladder.
Have you checked the ladder?
No, I have checked the ladder, but
Where are they?
I think they're third.
Yeah,
aren't
they're third, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good on them, mate. They fucking should be third.
Yeah, and the second highest percentage, which is pretty good. But mate, look, I they were out of the finals a little while ago, but going really well.
Look, one player I just want to talk about quickly, Errol Goulden. I know we speak about him a lot, but he's just one of those guys that when he gets the ball, you know something's happening with it.
Yeah.
He's just so clean. He's got his ball drop is just so close to his boots. Beautiful. Kicked that lovely left foot goal. I just love him.
He's aesthetically pleasing to
that's,
watch.
That's the language I was looking for. Very good.
Yeah.
Freo beat Melbourne on the weekend. Max Corn's really hurting them not having a ruckman there.
Yeah.
Fair old swipe of Goody after I was in one of the groups with the boys and they were chatting about the press conference and they've got a young ruckman there, a few ruckmen I think sitting in the VFL, and they're like, we have no ruckman that can win a tap out. And I'm like sitting there going, oh, these poor blokes. Like, how fucking shit would that be? Coach saying that in the post match.
They got Fulton up there, back from
the
Brisbane.
Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not. I think he's more a forward than
He's undersized ruck.
This is the time of year, or this is the situation you think they'd be putting him in. Clearance is 47-16.
Do you know what it was at half time?
14 zip at quarter time.
24-3 at half time.
So who was doing the rucking for Melbourne?
Well, last week they went with Van Rooyen and
Van
Petty,
Roy-
didn't they?
Yeah, right.
Go to this.
Didn't lay eyes on this one, did you?
No,
Dyl?
no, not this one.
Hitouts. Petty had 6 hitouts, and Van Rooyen
Van Rooyen, yeah.
6. So 9 hitouts total
Yeah.
for the game.
Josh Treacy, my boy, kicked 3.
Jake Tracy.
Jake Tracy,
Yeah.
sorry. Andrew Brayshaw, 41.
And Big Nev, never miss.
So Dockers top 4. They've given Melbourne a couple of smackings this year.
How far can Freo go? 4th on ladder at the moment.
It's 2013 vibes about it.
You reckon? What,
Yeah.
just choking the granny?
Oh, that was great. Love that. Look at him, he's sour as. He's so sour.
I mean, granted, you fuck with
Yeah, I didn't play it any. I watched a couple.
Yeah. I was at one. I was at
So was I.
Yeah.
I went around the outside on it.
Yeah, so did I. I did the grand final sprint.
Got in the ute.
That was good.
So Hawthorn, there's a
Freo.
scoop. Hawthorn Freo.
There you go. But they can go right, you reckon?
Yeah. Their midfield is. I know we
spoke about
Melbourne not having a recognised ruck, but you've still got to get it done. And their mids, a bloke has been getting a lot of kudos in the last or plaudits in the last few weeks. Hayden Young, he's probably for a long time has been seen as the third banana there to Sarong and Brayshaw, but he's their number one man now because he can actually really use the ball by foot.
Weapon by foot.
We were just talking before about Melbourne. Well, I'm thinking of Fremantle too. Like about Max Gawn, obviously the best ruckman of really, you could nearly say all time.
Yeah.
But what's funny is you look at Melbourne and they're saying now how with no ruck it's hard. But you look at the guys who they've had and then had to sort of, because they've had the best ruckman of all time, they've let go.
Yeah.
Even at the Giants, I know he's not a household name, but they had Braden Producey, who's then gone on to Giants. They had Luke Jackson, who they left to lost to Fremantle. And then obviously Brodie Grundy, who's now gone to the Swans. So they've had it there, but because they've had such a dominant one, it's been hard to keep other ones knowing that they'll never probably play.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue. They're having big boys that, you know, you're relying on Max probably being there every week.
Which he sort of has been really for a long time.
He's been super resilient. But
so what you're saying is then, is it not good to have the best ruckman of all time? Should you just get two shit ones who play 50% each year?
Really? That's an interesting question. I would have thought you'd go with the best. And if you ask Clayton, and
you really like your work there,
yeah,
Christian.
that was sort of funny. Yeah. Moving on, Carlton defeated North. You were in it, mate. You were in it till about half time, I reckon.
Oh,
just got blown out of the water in the
third quarter, poor third quarter. Probably two things. Carlton.
Chom!
What about him?
Charlie Comben.
went forward.
Comben went forward.
Yeah.
Kicked a couple of ripping goals.
Yeah.
Second quarter,
snap from the boundary.
kicked 3 in the second.
Doesn't look like bloody Wayne Carey out
And
there.
then they bloody gave him the half-time interview, didn't they? I looked over and there was bloody Ruby Slicer with Chom.
Yeah,
Chom,
don't.
no.
Yeah,
And
keep
then
his head in the
clearly,
game.
yeah.
Oh, so you reckon he got a bit...
Yeah, he wobbled.
He did wobble
wobbled
after
nearly
it.
out of the
Well, he
stadium.
did kick the goal right on the siren, which was nice, but
Yeah.
you reckon he got a bit drinking his
No,
own
I
bathwater
don't.
at half time?
You know, those interviews though. I don't know if this is verbatim or not, but aren't they teed up pre-game?
Yeah.
So you sort of know that you're going to have it at
They
half
are.
time.
Yeah, they
At
are.
half-time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, they are, because it's quite funny sometimes.
There was
if you
every
had a
chance
shot-
No, because I had Kelly Underwood come to me one
Yeah,
day,
that-
and I'd been injured and hadn't been on since the first minute of the second. And she's like, "I just want to." I was like, "I'm not sure whether you know Kelly, but I've actually torn my calf. I'm not coming back here."
Yeah.
And she goes,
You
"Oh
gave
my
Kelly
god."
the short word.
It was hard.
She goes, "I'm so sorry. This was all done before."
Yeah, it's all done before, so it is funny if you've done it and you've had a shit first half, and then your stat line's not looking
Oh,
great
when
when
they
it pops
put
up.
us
It's like 3 to go. So
Yours would have been good on the
It
weekend.
would have been good. Lucky you didn't get me post game.
So,
Yeah.
Carlton third quarter ramped up their pressure. We
Yeah.
couldn't really handle their
Fundamentals, though. Again, Mickey, we just got to get the fundamentals right.
pressure. Well,
Just-
they're getting better.
they up, mate. There was a
I
passage
think
of
someone
play.
in the pre-game, as I was walking out to warm them up, play my part in the warm-up, I think I heard someone yell out something about fundamentals.
Really?
Yeah. The audience love you.
There's
and
another
love them.
player on your team, or two players, that are fundamentally pleasing to watch, as we're talking about Errol Gordon before.
Sheasel.
Bang. And the other one is Luke Davies
Old
Uni.
Lake Davies.
Lake Doovies Uniac.
Old Lakey. Lakey Davies.
You know what I like him because he's on the move at stoppage and he powers through and he almost looks back at him, the defender to say, you're not catching me.
He's got the
Side.
keeps over the
and
ball too.
laterally, so
laterally,
powerful.
He's very athletic.
and the other-
Did you sign him up yet? Is he signed on?
Next year he's done, but yeah. The other one is your big ruckman, mate. I tell you what, he's pressing a claim for
Christian.
for All Australian.
Yeah, when he's getting the tutelage day to day.
Right, when you got
muck.
one of the best ruck bag operators in the business, their monkey just throwing the ruck bag at him every week, doing a bit of ruck fuck. So
That's
actually a thing. That's a thing.
It was a good matchup in the ruck.
Can we explain
in
what that is, Bob? Because I don't want people to
So
think
ruck
that I'm
fuck is
talking.
just when you get the rucks, and instead like mids will go do their running and
Yeah.
more specific training to what their position is, run, move, kick, whereas ruckmen just kind of wrestle.
They just wrestle.
Wrestle and repeat
And
efforts
maybe
and up,
we should
downs.
find a better word for it for everyone else, but the reason it is just literally like grappling for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it is terrible.
Ivan Maric was super at it. But he's going great, mate. His ability to follow up. He had 11 clearances, 9 in the first half. And was a big reason why you're going
10
so well.
tackles too. Like,
Yeah,
I had
gets
20 on the
after 'em.
weekend, but that's a lot. 10
So cute.
tackles.
So
can I
third
just
quarter,
ask, who did you...
we're in it till the end. A couple of bloody the whistle kept going.
Oh,
Kept
really?
getting this-
Oh,
Reckon
later
they-
did.
Yeah.
piercing
Later
whistle
was
in my ear.
later was rubbish.
Put it away, boys. On Harry Mackay, obviously, with the head knock, has been a bit of a talking issue. But you had Core on Harry.
Yeah.
Who played on Charlie?
Griff Logue, mate.
Griff Logue. Yeah, okay.
First game back
First
after
game
an
back. Okay.
Did really well. Like
4
some
goals
really
too.
good.
It's not bad. Kept in
Well,
6 scoring shots.
He actually did really well. He just
Didn't
blew
he?
up a bit late and he got unlucky with a couple.
Couple of those little hacks out of it.
Yeah, but then
First
Colby
of all.
McKercher slips over 25 metres out from goal.
Yeah.
And then Griff kicked one back to him, I think. Was that a...
Nah, Jesse Motlop kicked that one,
Yeah.
I reckon. But, yeah. Anyway,
Who
fundamentals.
else, can I say, just on this game, thinking about it, who do you look at as a Carlton, their top 3 sort of players to stop going in?
Oh, Cripps's.
Cripps.
Like, we put a bit of work in to him around stoppage, but he still had a good impact around there. Like Brett's man, what do you call him? Lake Doovies.
Lakey.
Lakey.
Yeah. Lake Eildon.
Lakey did a really good job. We kind of knew that Hewitt was going to go to him, so there was a bit of 2v1 work.
That was only early. I didn't notice that much late. Unless I'm wrong. Because it didn't... George was sort of... He hunts a footy.
Yeah,
George Hewitt.
It is hard to kind of Lakey. You've got to have 2 of them, isn't it?
Blake.
Well, who was the third?
Blake
the other
Davies
mid?
Uniac.
Because I used to get caught up with this.
You did get caught up with it?
And I used to go to Dave Mundy, and then someone
Never
else.
went to Barlow?
Nah, we didn't.
Well,
we
no,
saw-
he used to get off the chain.
Yeah.
So you got off the chain, and then one of our mids just ran around by himself. Don't know what they were doing, but anyway.
Who was it, Criggy?
Nah, it would have been probably Koch or Martin back in the day.
Now, there was a question here
Maybe Griggy.
from last
Miss
week.
Mailbag.
It was actually just sent in on DM. I want to get it up because it was a really good question, and I want to give credit to the person that asked it. Dust, maybe you can help find it when I ask it. It was about... We spoke about... The question is, we spoke a lot about in the show where Kane Lambert playing that role for Dustin Martin.
Yeah.
We spoke about a lot... Elijah Holland's playing a little bit for Cripper at the moment. Someone wanted to explain what that role is and how that actually works. It was from Ollie. The question was from Ollie.
From Ollie Hollands.
Wasn't maybe I think it's from his brother.
Just talking
asking.
about my brother.
My brother won't tell me.
The role is often a offensively minded mid will kind of hunt the ball.
So your gun.
Yeah.
And have the ability to kind of spit forward and
not worry on defence.
Not so much transition defensively. So a lot of sides bring up that high half forward that can kind of monitor the ball from the stoppage, and if it does go the opposition's way, they can get back and support and maybe take a dangerous mid. But also on offense, very sacrificial because ball might go into your forward 50 and a Cripper or that mid will be able to spit forward and get dangerous, whereas the Hollands role or the Lambert role will often have to just stay in behind to pick up any of the mess.
Who used to pick up Nat's man?
Nick Subban.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd just come in and get the stat sheet. Subban's had 4 again. How are you going? Well, I'm fucking saying how Carthy's man doing this and fucking doing this, and it was really good. Sometimes it was like he had Tourette's.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at this role, but I did definitely do it for Kate Simpson a few times. And it was one game we played Hawthorn. We lost by, I think it was like 160 points or something that Eddie had. I remember one day Simo was trying to get loose and he was playing on, Luke Bruce. I was on, I think, like Puopolo, and Cyril was there. And so Doc and Simo were trying to get loose when we're down by 150, but I was just playing on all 3. So it was sort of a good way to...
Know your role, mate.
Yeah, just locking down on Cyril, Puopolo and Bruce, while the other boys just...
Getting 40.
We needed a +2 because we needed some attacking from the 150 points down that we were trying to win the game. So that was fun.
Scenario training.
Yeah, it was good. Very, very good. Anyway, moving on to Mick's mailbag. We've missed this last week because Mick wasn't here. We really missed you. But very good feedback for our man Nahas. I can't believe I didn't ask him the number one question.
What was it? What was his number one question?
Oh, mate. About the policeman's truncheon. What is it?
The what?
He's
This is you. This is all you.
the heaviness of his body.
Yeah.
He's erect,
Yeah.
like Paul Chapman.
Yeah.
He's hard.
Mm.
I didn't.
He didn't ask about
Slipped my mind, but we need to.
Mm.
Need to find out about that next time.
What
Get
was-
him back in.
Yeah. I'm not sure where you're going
Yeah,
with that.
no, neither.
He was only pretty light.
Nick's Mailbag here. Hey boys, thought you want to know about some events that I witnessed over the weekend just past. Whilst preparing to play against Muralbark in the ENFL, myself and my teammates were ready to head out for the warm-up, and at half-time, we heard a loud sound from the car park. We couldn't believe our eyes when we turned around and saw an imposing figure on a motorbike roll into the car park with a ruck bag on his back. The large man got off the bike and walked over to greet Muralbark ruckman Riley Monkhurst. We overheard him mention the importance of getting down the line to take marks. Which we witnessed next was an incredible show of ruck coaching. Monkey walked out to the centre of the ground and said, "Jog on, lads, it's monkey time." To our mids who were warming up and proceeded to take his son through a manner of ruck situations with his trusty ruck bag. His son went on to towel us up and we went down by 5 goals. This is all verbatim. Regards, Luke.
Sounded verbatim.
Yeah. So Monkey's going down to Muralbark with the ruck bag.
Well,
Does Clarko know that he's taking that?
Just supporting his son,
No, that's
obviously.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Big Monk.
Yeah.
Actually, he did tell me yesterday that he'd heard on the radio your interview with Triple M.
Yeah.
He's still got to wrap his head around who you are and what the importance of Dylan Buckley going to
What a
Toura
podcast is.
He goes, "Did you play footy yesterday?" I said, "No." He goes, "I heard something on the radio about you playing a game of footy," or I said, "Oh, no, that would have been bloody Dill playing."
We need to get Monkey in. Can we get him on the pod?
We can.
All right, good.
don't
We'll
know
get him in.
how.
Because we're finishing up this episode, but next episode we are going to be doing our tips, obviously, for next week. So make sure you tune into Thursday's episode, which will drop, and we're also going through niche AFL players.
Ooh.
So we've opened this last week about who people want to hear on the show, because we want to build our guests back in. We'll call some players that people want to hear from, we haven't heard from in a
Benny
while.
Nason, Dean
Mate, the
Turlick.
names on this are unbelievable. Dean Turlick, we've got Will Minson here, Andrew Hooper, Ben Nason, Dennis Armfield. We'll go through the whole list in the next episode, and we'll be giving our tips. So make sure you tune into that. But a big thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you rate and review, send this to a friend, and we hope you enjoyed it. IllyXX.